The Bonitas Wild Series proudly presents the Bonitas Mont aux Challenge, brought to you by Bonitas Medical Fund, Sunday Tribune, Isabello KZN Wildlife and Wildlands Conservation Trust. The evidence of a late winter cold snap in KwaZulu-Natal blanketed the Drakensberg Mountains. Ahead of the latest event on the Bonitas Wild Series calendar, the Bonitas Sunday Tribune Mont aux Challenge. This is a tough 50-kilometre trail run, taking the runners from the Royal Natal National Park up onto the Berg, and more specifically the source of the Tugela, and back down again. Each year, 250 runners pay the entry fee and raise a minimum of 400 Rand as a compulsory donation for the privilege of enjoying the freedom of a World Heritage Site. Like all Bonitas Wild Series events, the funds are channeled to the Wildlands Conservation Trust and used to preserve threatened environments and species in the area the event takes place. The bearded vulture is a species under serious threat in the Drakensberg, and the funds are channeled towards helping preserve this beautiful bird. Cold early start for the runners.
Very excited. The weather is playing a good part this morning. It's clear skies. I feel fit, I feel strong, excited to be here. And we're doing it for the vultures, Conservation, that's what we're thinking of today.
I'm very excited to do this race with Justin. I said to him, come with me, do this, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, we have done a couple of runs, but no runs in the snow, so I hope we can deal with the snow conditions up there. But very excited, very excited.
No, it's my first time, but yeah, it's just very well organised for a good cause, beautiful venue, so yeah, looking very forward to it.
But what makes the Mont aux Challenge so special?
It's just different to road. It's beautiful. You've got the scenery and it's something different.
Freezing cold. If you can see behind me, there's snow on the mountains, and that snow is at quite low altitudes. So we'll be running into some of it, I think. But unfortunately, the organisers won't allow us to go into the thick of the snow because the conditions, I think, are just a little bit too dangerous.
We've got a camera with us for the first time in 4 years, so we're looking to take some nice photographs. And just really looking forward to enjoy another spectacle that Ms. Heidi Marker has put on for us and at Mont aux 2012.
I'm really looking forward to the race. Disappointed that we're not going to go up to the mountain, but they say that it's much better to be safe.
I love this race. I come back every year. No, for me it's here to enjoy it, hopefully a little bit of the view. Glad to see we'll have a bit of sun. But no, today it's all about enjoying what we do and being out here in the mountains. We're lucky and privileged to be here.
Before they set off, race director Heidi Marker had the tough task of telling the runners they'd not be going to the very top due to the heavy patches of snow on the mountains. This meant a shorter route that would take them up to the Sentinel car park and back down again, a distance of 38 kilometres, avoiding the zigzag single track, the chain ladder climb and the Sentinel Gully. The first of 4 batches set off at 6:15, batches introduced a few years ago to alleviate congestion on the narrow sections of the route. The runners are seeded according to their most recent marathon time. Mark Pello and Eric Ngubani started very fast and led the field up the Mahai Valley. Frost lay heavy on the rocks and grass. Matt Kretzmann leads Morris Uckerman. After missing out for 2 years, Melanie van Rooyen was back on the trails of the Mont aux. Wandile and Gonrwana, a serious challenger. Back at the start, the later batches getting ready.
A little bit undercooked, to be honest, but we don't have to run this apparently, so I'll just take a slow, nice day out, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. I think I'll enjoy it. Done it once before, so kind of know what to expect.
Gloves on. Although the skies were clear, there was still a distinct chill in the air as the last few batches set off on their adventure. This is a race with a soul, a chance to enjoy the rare beauty and solitude of the Ukomhlamba Drakensberg up close.
It's the 18th Mont aux this year. It seems quite incredible really that it's gone so quickly. Another amazing crowd, 200 novice runners this year, wanting to take on the great Mont aux. This race is legendary. It's talked about throughout trail running circles. It's won many, many awards. And the reason for that is it takes South Africans and international runners into one of the most beautiful, beautiful places in the country. The Drakensberg area is simply spectacular. And this year, not only is it beautiful, but it's covered in snow. Wow, what an extreme event here. We've had so much rain this past week that we weren't sure whether people would be able to get here. We've had to shorten the route because we've got so much snow at the top that it's simply not safe to run up there. However, what a treat to be able to run from the bottom here, Royal Natal, up into Lesotho to go and see that, experience it, and at the same time share some beautiful space with creatures such as the bearded vulture.
And with one another like Renette and Johannes Janssen van Rensburg. Like-minded people with a love of the outdoors and a sense of camaraderie, strong legs and determined minds as well. Two such people, Adrian Geekie and Adrian Carter. Oops, there's the camera. Best I get running. The hiking path snaked in and out of the ravines, always heading upwards. Muskuman and Andre Vianello. Lee Lidgley enjoying the freshest water in the world. The Bonitas Wild Series is not just about putting on challenging events.
Yeah, our involvement has lasted for quite a while, and I think it's evolved over the years. So what's happened is that initially we were only involved in the challenge, and now we're also involved in the Kiddies Challenge, which actually looks at the rural community around here and brings the kids together and actually teaches them about the wildlife and the trust, and also makes them ambassadors. So we're quite happy to be involved, and I think that the way that we've progressed with the Wild Series, we're quite happy with our involvement in that.
Today we ran a financial literacy workshop with the teachers, the local teachers or the teachers that come from the local schools. Our workshop is basically a financial literacy workshop where we go through the ABCs of budgetary, financial matters, personal financial planning stuff. It was a great session that we had with the teachers today.
And at the end of an energizing day, some of the lucky youngsters received bicycles which will help them get to and from school. A wonderful initiative.
It's very exciting that we're killing two birds with one stone. As you would know that we are involved within the health industry. It makes sense for us to sponsor such initiatives whereby we promote healthy living, the guys running up and down the mountains, keeping fit and keeping healthy. And the second layer to that is that the Wild Trust is involved with environmental issues. It's very important that as organizations in this country get involved with the environmental issues. If we want to keep people healthy, we must also keep the environment healthy and clean. So therefore, that's our involvement here.
Matthew Fitzsimmons leads a small group along the rocky pathways of the Little Berg. Awesome scenery. Up front, Eric Ngubani had forged a tidy lead as he reached the Vitsisuk Lodge. This was around 11 kilometers into the day's race. Mark Peller was in second place as they approached the water table.
No, I'm fine. How's it going out there? No, the climb is too much, but I really enjoy it. I hope I'll be back next year.
Sure you will. Mark is a multi-sport athlete who finished 27th in Ironman South Africa earlier this year. Running is certainly his strength. Eric, a father of two from Cato Ridge, ran a 5:50 comrades to finish 16th this year. And he was showing awesome form as he headed up towards the neck. Mark was slipping further back, the altitude and steepness of the road taking a heavy toll on his legs. Andy Lowe had started strongly. He was going well inside the top 5.
Quite tough. Tough, but it suits me better. So I'm going to try and pick at the pace here in the next K or so. Magic day. Pity we can't go to the top, but these hills are hard enough. Thanks.
An ethereal sight as the mist and clouds shrouded the snow-patched mountain slopes. Melanie van Rooyen continuing to lead the women's race. The steeper section reducing the athletes to walking. Who can blame them? At the turn point at the Sentinel car park, honorary officers manned the checkpoint. And soon Eric Ngubani was charging through, on his way down the mountain already, having reached that turn point well ahead of his closest rivals. In fact, he passed a tiring Mark Pillow, who was on his way up. Greg Barnes had moved into second place.
How's it going? Easy game.
Easy game.
And now for the drop back down, whilst most of the field was still toiling upwards.
Yeah, good, perfect weather for the run. The course is shortened, but perfect weather to run. Probably good thing's been shortened, not quite up to form today, but a fantastic day out and the snow is beautiful.
How's the course? Is it muddy out there? Or?
Yeah, it is quite muddy, not quite as muddy as I expected, but definitely very slippery on the foot, and I think it's going to be a big challenge going downhill. We'll see how it goes.
It's pretty about the view, and obviously we can't do the top because of the snow, but sometimes it happens like that, eh? But even so, it's a nice thing put on by KZN Wildlife and the Conservation Trust, eh?
Yeah, tough. Downhill from here, though. It's good.
Wandine Gulwana even stopped to record the moment for posterity.
Beautiful, awesome, thank you.
Honorary officers makes that an integral part of Izimvelo KZN Wildlife's operations. They add a additional resource to what we currently have. Obviously, organisations such as ours are strict, sort of short of resources, and we make use of what we have. As far as the honorary officers are concerned, it's a whole lot of volunteers that offer up their own time and money to come and assist us, especially with events like this, that if we didn't have their cooperation and their involvement, it wouldn't have been possible. So we're eternally grateful for the honorary officers.
Greg Barnes from Irene Running Club in Tshwane was now in second place. Ben de Klerk was running well and passed Mario Zuckerman to move into third. Ben has a comrade's best of 6 hours and 16 minutes and appeared to be running well within himself as he headed back down towards Vitsisuk. At a lead of about 30 seconds now over Mario Zuckerman, who was second in 2011. Andy Lowe was back in fifth place. Comrades gold medalist Melanie van Rooyen from Richards Bay was absolutely flying down the mountain. The physiotherapist had run a time of 6 hours 52 for the famous ultramarathon earlier this year. Last year's runner-up Sue Chapman was running in second place. As the race progressed, the sun warmed the runners up and the conditions were near on perfect as Eric Ngubani tripped effortlessly down the rocky path. 43-year-old Greg Barnes chasing Eric. And Marius was trying to catch Greg and repeat his second place of a year ago. Andy Lowe was holding on to fourth, and Matt Kretzmann was closing in on him. Early pace setter Mark Pello still inside the top 10, Garth Prowie getting some air. 28-year-old Eric Ngubani completed the shortened route of 39 Ks in 3 hours and 8 minutes, a phenomenal run.
Yeah, on the first half it was not that much quick. When I reached the top is there where I dropped those
guys, because I see the pace was a little bit slow for me. I hope I'll be back next year. Also, I'm looking forward I'm doing 3 cranes next year because of my training is it's on the plan for Comrade next year. I'm looking for the call. That's why I'm doing more off-road, the hard one. That's why I'm here.
Greg Barnes was just 12 minutes back in second.
This is basically my first time I've run the series, and I found that the organisation of the whole event brilliant. The water points were at the right distances apart, and yes, I'll do it again next year.
Yeah, it was all right. The conditions, we expected the worst, but it went okay. It's a bit unfortunate we didn't go to the chain ladders because of the snow, but I think it went all right. The conditions, I think it was better than we'd expected. Not too chilly, and all right, yeah.
Morris was third, 2.5 minutes behind Greg. Fifth a year ago, Jeffrey Lee came home in 16th place. But Eric Ngubani was in a league of his own at Mont aux. Behind him, just 5 minutes separated Greg Barnes from 5th place Rob Stewart. A tidy run by the future boy Justin Porteous to finish inside the top 10. While mum or dad or both were enjoying the mountain trails on the Bonitas Mont aux Challenge, the kids were well catered for at the Bonitas Kids Zone. Parents could register their children as green heroes and head for the hills, knowing that their precious ones would be expertly cared for. Plenty of physical activity to keep them busy. They also got to learn a little bit more about the wonderful environment they were in. Up in the mountains, the mists had come down as the back end of the field reached the turn point at the Sentinel car park, and they were all in really good spirits.
Now I'm going home. It's been a tough one coming up, cramping and running out of breath, but I'm good.
Very good. Better than being in office. Much better. Guys, 10 out of 10. Heidi, you were born. This is awesome. Best race I've ever done.
Awesome, man. We've been having really good chats, good company. Yeah, and it's going to get better. I mean, you know, this is like sort of way past halfway in terms of effort level. So we're looking good. Yeah.
The checkpoint was a tough place to leave for some.
The Mont aux event aims to really do 3 things. 1, bring people to this beautiful, beautiful part of the country. 2, raise funding for the ongoing support and protection of this area. And then over the last few years we focused in on the bearded vulture. Bearded vulture is seriously threatened with extinction. At current rates it will be extinct within the next 100 years. And that would be really sad for all of us and a real sad indictment on us. However, there's a massive campaign behind that. At the moment there's about 100 breeding pairs. Ezemvelo are leading the charge to lift that number to about 150 breeding pairs, which would effectively save this amazing species from extinction. One of the key things we're working on is establishing a network of vulture restaurants along the edge of the reserve, working with Ezemvelo and national parks to do that. This year, N3TC have come on board. They've committed 300,000 Rand a year for the next 3 years to support the establishment of those restaurants. And they join this incredible group of sponsors who really have turned this event into something very special. Over and above the support for bearded vultures, we're hoping to raise between 250,000 and 300,000 Rand from this event for local conservation work. And all of that work is really geared to making sure that we can stand here in 30 years' time and talk about how we've done 48 Mont aux, and hopefully in 100 years' time. And we've still got people coming here to explore this beautiful, beautiful country.
Yeah, no, this is not easy. This is not for sissies. But it's been cool.
Feeling the altitude, but what a treat. What a privilege. I mean, every second. We knew these clearly. That's really fantastic. And you must see the flowers. Show the flowers. The flowers of her happiness.
The Mont aux Challenge highlights one of the country's most spectacular landscapes.
The Drakensberg Park World Heritage Site is managed by Ezemvelo KZN Wildlife. has got a great deal to offer to the visitors coming to the park. As you can see behind me and all around, the beautiful scenery. The park was proclaimed in 2000 as a World Heritage Site, both for its scenic and natural and biodiversity values, and also for its cultural values, where there's lots of sand, rock art, paintings. In terms of what we offer to the visitors, there's 90 kilometers of trails here at the Royal Natal section of the park. We have a campsite, tented campsite, with excellent facilities. We have a hutted camp. We offer a really good standard of accommodation, bird watching, hiking, rock climbing, fly fishing. This is just such an awesome park to come and experience the nature and the beauty of Royal Natal and Drakensberg Park World Heritage Site.
The vastness of the mountains dwarfed the runners, many of whom were novices and just getting to know how hard the run is.
It's been quite tough. It's my first one, so a little bit more than expected. The hills have been working my legs, but hopefully it's downhill from now. So about 10, 11 k's to go and then we'll be home. Hopefully the cramps hold off and we'll be okay.
How's it been at this run?
Awesome day. Awesome. We saw, what is it, a bearded vulture?
Did you see one?
Yes. Very privileged.
Asked a couple of people and they confirmed it.
Yes.
Flying?
Yes.
It's tough. Anything that's highly concerned, it's never been easy.
I think we are the only sponsor still remaining from the inception of this challenge. And I think it's an honor and privilege to be part of this magnificent event. The Mont aux Challenge is very unique to our area. Powerade's involvement goes back to serving the community in this area, providing refreshments to the 4 refreshment stations on top of the mountain.
We had a really interesting week. Weather was a bit challenging. It's been raining since Monday. So back at the race office we had to make some changes. The rain turned into snow and we had to close off 14 kilometers of the route due to really thick snow and being just dangerous. We couldn't go up the chain ladders, we couldn't come down the gully, and it was just recommended by our safety specialist not to go up there. The route ended up being 38 kilometers, but it was still challenging with the guys having to deal with some altitude going up. They turned around in Sentinel car park and came back down. So all in all, it was still brilliant. A few people was grateful for the 14 kilometer shortcut, but all in all, it was brilliant. Today was amazing weather and it's just really a beautiful day.
The Bonitas Wild Series events are really special and continue to offer unique but testing experiences to those brave and lucky enough to enter. Greg Sikora, loyal supporter Ray Ulufi, Colette Brighton and Kieran Watkins typified the spirit of the Wild Series as they closed in on the line.
I mean, the Wild Series events are always a special treat. You know, if you can get into these races, they're like the highlight of the year. So, yeah, any of these Wild Series races are fantastic. This one in particular, it's my first one, and I was really impressed. I think today was just a beautiful day. Snow on the mountain, clear skies. What more could you ask for?
Melody van Rooyen completed a superb run to finish 21st overall in 3 hours 44 to win the women's race.
The 2 years in a row, so I was definitely not going to give it a skip this year. And yeah, it's my type of running, enjoy the uphills, but down is always welcome.
It's just an incredible race and it's a privilege to be out here running, and but you know, it's tough, you know, irrespective of the fact that we might not have gone over the top. Which was disappointing, but when we got up there and we saw the snow drifts, it was a very good call. Thanks, Heidi. But you know, it's a tough race. You know, the conditions were actually good. They were less muddy than expected underfoot, and so once you got to the Sentinel, you could turn around, and if you had the legs from the climb, then you could really make a quick trip home.
It was good. Disappointing not to do the top stretch, the top loop, which is always very nice, and it would have been very clear, lovely views today. But yeah, I think it's just as well. It wouldn't have been safe. So it was a different race, and I think it favoured road runners. You probably saw that in the men's field. But overall, good race. I felt the altitude though.
Sue Chapman's daughter spent around 4.5 hours in the Bonitas Kids Zone before Mum came home in third after Alison Misselhorn.
I love this race. Every year I come back, I love it. But today I found quite tough. I don't know, my legs weren't running so well, but that's the way it goes. Still loved the down and enjoyed that part, so that was great.
Oh, it was just fantastic to be out on the mountain. The single track up to Vitsies was beautiful. Took a camera along to take pictures. It was absolutely stunning. It was a wonderful day.
And the Radox recharge zone masseurs did wonders to revive tired and sore legs.
Well needed after climbing up the hill up there. But it's been good, yeah.
A brilliant run by Melanie van Rooyen, just under half an hour ahead of Misselhorn. Sue Chapman just over a minute ahead of Marcel Coetzee. 63 women completed the race. A Bonitas Wild Series event is not complete without a convivial prize-giving evening. And albeit that all 258 finishers were winners, the top performers were recognised. Each finisher took away a unique trophy. Women's winner Melanie van Rooyen, congratulated by Dr. Andrew Venter. Eric Ngubani received his trophy from wild child Heidi Mocker. The Bonitas Sunday Tribune Mont aux Challenge, an inspirational event. Get training for next year. Incredible opportunities to experience this great country of ours through the Bonitas Wild Series. Go to wildlands.co.za for more details. The Bonitas Wild Series presented the Bonitas Mont aux Challenge, brought to you by Bonitas Medical Fund, Sunday Tribune, Isabello KZN Wildlife and Wildlands Conservation Trust.